Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Prison Break. This is the 7th episode of the 2nd season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in a link in the description below. Just click on it, put a password in, and enjoy. So last episode, we ended with another person, yes, being caught. Now, obviously, we've seen a brute say he's actually been killed, but this time it's just an arrest, and it is TWEENER. So the 8 are now dwindling down to 6 still escapees, and potentially, you know, more could get caught because they are actually in a woman's house. They're digging in the garage because, yes, they're trying to find the underneath of the silo. They're trying to find Westworld's money, and obviously they're trying to ride off into the sunset. But the homeowner got a little bit suspicious because Teabag was keeping her company whilst the rest was digging, and then things turned a little bit sour just because obviously he thought that she was kind of into him. You know, they was kind of, I don't know, to be honest, it did seem like she was into him, but then she ended up leaning over and asked him, could you go and ask if Lincoln could come inside and actually have a drink with me, not you? So he's turned around, he's like, look mate, you've been playing me all of this time. She's like, don't be like that. You know what I mean? He's obviously got a little bit upset. Now, Michael, he's gone in to check on them, and he's seen a bit of glass, a bit of ice or whatever it was smashed on the floor, and he's panicked, mate. He's ran straight upstairs to see what's going on, battered straight into the bedroom, and she's actually okay. Now, Teabag was only going to the toilet, and he's turned around and he said to Michael, don't worry, you know, she's interested in Link. Now, the interesting thing is, she said, look, I've had enough of you all being here. You're kind of creeping me out. You've been here all day. I think it's time to leave. That's obviously threw a little bit of spanner in their works because obviously they're so close to grabbing the money. Interestingly though, she must have called the cops and saying that she's got some suspicious behaviour going on because they did hear a van pull up outside. Sucre's gone and checked, and it's obviously one female officer on her own. Now, they've gone to the window and looked as well, and Teabag has grabbed her straight away. Not the officer, the homeowner. Put like a knife towards her throat and said, look mate, if you tell her what's going on, if you scream, then I'm going to kill you. So that's where we kind of ended. Very interestingly and excitingly to see what's about to happen. You know, they need to go downstairs, they need to play it safe, play it cool, pretend that everything is a-okay, because if she doesn't, then both of them could potentially die, especially when Teabag is around the corner. So, very interesting stuff. Thanks for checking out today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you do, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into today's episode.
She's coming up.
Oh, does she live there? I think she lives there. Might be a daughter. It is.
Hey, Mom, you home?
Oh, that's not good.
Back away and put your hands up.
I put my hand up, gonna take a jugular with it.
Don't move.
Let's be civil.
They could be anywhere now. We don't have the units to go door to door.
And we won't need them.
He's gonna tell us where to look.
Oh, TWEENER, yeah.
You know what? If you don't mind, I've actually got to go.
Are you okay? Your cart's empty.
I'm good. Yeah, I just got to go.
We cannot do this.
Hat's over the wall now.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
I mean, we committed. It's time to go get the hat.
Figure it out. We can get the money another way.
Yeah, maybe I can rob another bank. You know what Charles once said to me? He said there's no such thing as an ex-con. Because I used to think there was a way we could wipe the slate clean. That's over the wall, Link.
It is when you escape, though. You'll always be an ex-con. You'll always be on the run.
This wasn't supposed to happen. 1 or 2 hours tops and we'll be out of here. Keep your eyes open, okay? Nothing happens to them.
See, the interesting thing is they had to take her out. Do you know what I mean? As soon as that she approached and she was actually living there, there was no other way that you can carry on digging. Do you know what I mean? It had to be a quick takeout. Now, I know saying that you're going to be a couple of hours, 2, 3 tops, and then you'll be a-okay. It's good to know, but it doesn't really help your comfort, does it? You know what I mean? It could just be all talk. It's just there to try and keep you quiet for a longer period. And then, you know, who knows what they're going to do after. Now, us knowing everybody apart from Teabag would technically leave them alone. Now, again, if they hear that they're there for the money, maybe they do think, okay, maybe they're here and we're safe. But I would never put it past Teabag to just go rogue and just take them out. If somebody's got potential to get him done, if that makes sense, just like the officer, do you remember when he killed him? I feel like he would do.
The doctor is suspicious.
was on the line with the governor when you walked up.
You were listening.
Both lines are tapped. We're not rookies. Seeing how she was supposed to lead you to Schofield and eventually to Burroughs, it looks like we're back to square one.
Not necessarily. There are other people they care about.
I want to know why he's changed his watch. He put a wedding ring on, but he swapped watches. What's the significance of that?
Sir?
I'm trying to get in hold of Dad. I need to reach him in his cell.
He actually just landed. Should be home soon.
They withdrew his nomination. According to them, his confirmation was going to be a problem.
President Reynolds pulled the plug on a sure thing in order to start over from scratch. How often does something like that happen in politics?
Never.
Never.
Hey, Mr. $100 bill. What's it like being with the African persuasion anyhow, huh?
You know, shut the hell up.
Oh, hit me a nerve. Be the Fox River 7. Now that Brucey's taking his dirt nap. Short one.
It's taking a long time to fill that gas tank up.
Leaned on him in every way I can think of. He's not talking.
He's going to try and beat it out of him. He's going to go off script. Turn them blinds.
Are you Catholic? Are you Catholic? Not much good in it. A lot of guilt. But the one good thing is confession. Letting another human being hear.
Got nothing to say to you, man.
What if I told you something? Oscar Shales. Guy I was chasing a few years back. Smart as hell. Kept just missing him. Would have almost been fun if it weren't for the fact that he were killing people all along the way. Bodies kept stacking up and I started to feel that it was because of me. Saw things when I would drive at night. Nightmares to the point that I couldn't sleep. That's what these little guys are for.
He is actually being honest.
So now you know. Now it's off my chest. Try it sometime. Bagwell was free less than 24 hours before he killed his first victim. Kill again, and that blood is gonna be on your conscience and nobody else's.
Kind of good that actually. The guy was actually telling the truth, wasn't there? So we learned about that guy, obviously, that he's been chasing. He said that he gets close to him every time, and it would have been kind of like a fun little game, like nearly got you, got away. But each time he's going around killing people. That's what's actually took a toll on him. That's why he's obviously taking the medication, because he's seen things, he's experiencing it. You know, kind of good to get that little bit of the backstory of his character. It makes you understand him a little bit more. But in terms of obviously, you know, Tweener, he's already told Bellic something like this before. Do you know what I mean? He was promised something, and then obviously he was kind of like manipulated and forced, and he didn't really get anything good out of it. Oh, he might have got a burger and some French fries at a certain time, but it ended badly for him. It did, let's be honest. And obviously this guy's trying to play in his guilt as well. T-Bag actually has gone around there and he has killed somebody. And, you know, he's probably thinking as well, they're in this home, he could potentially kill the homeowner. And that can play on his conscience, you know what I mean? If he finds out that he didn't give them up and then that woman's died, maybe he thinks that I could have stopped and prevented that death. And only time will tell with that. Do you know what I mean? Literally, only time will tell. But I hope for a second time, because the first time he told Bellic, and obviously he's in a situation again here, but I hope that he doesn't say it. I don't want him to be the guy all the time that just spills everybody's plans, spills the beans on it, because then if he does stay in the show for a longer period of time, like, nobody's ever going to trust him. And I actually don't even think he's that bad.
Just arrived, LJ.
I don't have a meeting scheduled with my lawyer.
He has an interesting job, but it's also boring as well, waiting all that time.
We're all set in Arizona with the Burroughs kid. Kid's as good as gone.
It's as good as gone, so they're ready to take him out then. Hopefully he can fight for himself, defend himself.
I'm an ADA here in Mojave County. I'm here to serve you with your release papers.
Maybe they're hoping to get him on the outside when he's free. Do you know what I mean? Walking the streets, he could just grab him and take him.
Hey, Dad?
Oh, he's killed himself. Oh, mate. See, do you reckon he's killed himself? I don't know. I don't reckon he has. I feel like they've took him out.
What?
I need my pills for my baby. They're metformin to prevent a miscarriage, please.
These changes, do you really think they'll help keep predators like Theodore Bagwell safely behind bars?
Picture makes me look like a sociopath.
Due to the sudden disappearance of crucial blood and...
Hey, Link, I didn't know you had a boy.
The murder weapon itself, the Cook County District Attorney's Office had no choice but to drop all charges against the 16-year-old.
Do you reckon they're doing it because they're trying to bait him out? That'd be dead obvious, wouldn't it? That he's trying to get to it.
LJ's out there. I'm gonna get him.
We have come 1,500 miles across country. We have made it this far.
And I guess this is where we part ways.
I can understand both sides, right? But I'm actually on Michael's side on this one. I feel like, you know, if LJ is free and he's been released, then you don't have to find him right now. If he's free, he can come to you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Cino has not been to see his family, but he's had some sort of contact. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could do the same thing. He could literally just get him. He's got his number. You could call him, or obviously he could reach out. He'll have acquaintances. You know, everybody knows somebody or someone that can actually take you to you. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I couldn't get a hold of my parents, for example, I would know somebody that they've got a contact with that I could get hold of to find them. Like, you can get your way back there. So, like, it's not so urgent that he needs to get LJ now, like it was before in the courthouse or whatever you want to call it, because obviously he was going to get trialed and potentially, you know, given the death penalty or whatever, the same way as Lincoln. This time he's free to walk, and from their point of view, you know, he can wait. It's not urgent. They can make contact, they could be free, they can organise him to come and see them. That's the worst thing you could do, though. You could have just shut the folder, couldn't you? You don't want to stare at it. Done these tactics before, haven't they?
The kid's still stonewalling.
There's something I can help you with. You know, it'd be a little easier if you used the cart for all that stuff.
I'm just, I wanted to see if it all fit in the bag. What happened to your knee there?
Motorcycle accident.
You don't move around too well then, do you?
Not really.
Well, that's good.
Hey!
You remember how to get there?
I might forget.
Thursday night, 6 o'clock. It's our last shot.
A lot of ground to cover in 3 days.
A lot of ground for you to cover in 3 days.
They'll be gunning for you. They'll get you any way they can, so tell them I said there'll be a surfboard with his name on it.
Full choy booze. 3 days.
I just want to let you know that the ME, she's finished her preliminary examination of the body. She found no signs of foul play. Look, is there any extended family I should call?
I'm an only child and my mother passed away. Could I have a moment, please?
Like, it'd be so hard to, like, comprehend what's actually going on if it's totally out of character. You wouldn't believe it, would you? Like, literally, you wouldn't. Especially in the organisation, industry that he works in. What is that key, though? It did fall off him, didn't it?
We're talking no additional time on your sentence for the escape. You want it in writing, I'll put it in writing. Days playing racquetball with stockbrokers and lawyers.
There's a woman in the house. If you guys show up, I'm just gonna turn her into a hostage. The only way that woman comes out free is if someone shows up on that porch that they trust.
He's making it look like he's accepting a deal. Look, he's drinking a soda. He's obviously giving him a little bit of information, but
I'll take you to them.
I'm hoping that he's playing him. But that's a good deal, though. 22 out on the streets, back at normal. Do you know what I mean? That is a hard one to say no to. This dog is absolutely committed, mate.
You like turkey? You like turkey?
How long were you doing?
5 years.
How much longer did you have left to serve?
18 months.
Why on earth would you break out of prison with it? What's her name? You should have let her go instead of...
She's having my baby.
For how long is she?
I don't want to talk about it.
That's TWEENER, innit? That's his actual name. They know that he's been captured.
TWEENER, he was on the radio.
They say anything about where we are?
I'm not hanging around to find out.
Maybe he's found it. How would you even do an even split there? You wouldn't even know, would you?
Let's go over this again. None of them were armed.
Guns? No. Bagwell had a screwdriver or something.
See, before we get into that one there, right? You know, he offered him, so Mahomes offered him a deal. He said, look, mate, you know, you give me these guys and then I will give you a reduced sentence. You know, I'll make it like the escape never even happened. You just do the time that you was originally put inside for, which is 4 years, and you can get sent off to some sort of prison, though. He was saying, like, you could play tennis and racquetball and you could be, you know, playing chess with stock market brokers or something like that. Anyway, that's what he was saying, making it sound like he's going to be in a better location with the same time, but obviously not get added any on. Now, I said you can have that in writing if you want it. Damn right, mate. I want it in writing. I want it recorded. I want it said out loud. I want it, obviously, on tapes. I want other witnesses to see this proposal that's being given to me. And I know that, obviously, if he doesn't give it, he's withholding information, so you can kind of like hit him with that, so to speak, because he does know the location. But also, again though, can courts actually do that? So for example, if I knew that you killed somebody and they come over to me and they said, look mate, you know, you tell me where you are and we will take 10 years off your sentence, you know what I'm saying? And I go, sweet, yeah, I will do that. They're over there, you get caught, and then they go, psych, wasn't really doing it, you're booked, they're booked, you're both going down. Surely, at some point, if they offer you a proposal, it's kind of like a shop, innit? If they list something for sale, or whatever, it's an offer and a proposal. If somebody offers you something and you accept, then that becomes legally binding, because obviously it's a deal, it's a transaction that you both agreed on. And I'd be interested to see if, obviously, he goes ahead and he does accept it, if they will give him what they offered. But also, he's now getting mic'd up, and I don't know if you could maybe warn him or something about it. Maybe use... you can't even use code words or nothing, can you? I don't even know what you would technically say. It'd be so hard for him to not say it. Like, if he goes in there and does what Mahomes wants him to, but they already know that he's with the police because they've heard it on the radio, if they start to escape, if that makes sense, does his deal still stand? Because he done exactly what he said he was going to do. He told you a location, told how many was there, told you what weapons they had, and he actually obviously tried to aid you in the investigation. He's not exactly lied, he's actually brought everything to the table that you asked him to. It just didn't go the way you would have wanted it to, because humans are unpredictable.
I'm gonna live in a windmill. All we need is a raft. I'm gonna build it. All starts stick.
I actually really like him. It's just not going to go well for him, is it?
Days from now, I'm gonna be walking down the streets of Bangkok with $1 million US in my pocket. Black market surgery, anonymous transplant donors. He's dressed like she's. What's there not to like?
He's getting the best of both worlds, him. Oh, you'd be absolutely fuming, wouldn't you? That you've actually got the money and now they've turned up before you can get away. Is it even a correct house? I don't even know. We didn't even see kind of the front entrance, did we? Oh, no way. I knew it wasn't the right house.
I've got much time, all right? What you did for me that day at the motel. Ain't nobody in my life has been bad for me like that. I wanted you to know, all right? So I'm gonna be writing to you. I sure as hell hope that you write back.
Maybe you don't clamp him down hardcore, but...
I'm sorry. Do I know you?
She's not home.
Yeah, well, I'm supposed to drive her to the club.
She already went to the club. She came out, said she was going to the club. She got in her car and left. He's gone. We gotta get out of here. Because once he gets to the club, he's gonna find out she's not there.
Yo, what's up?
Come on. It's gonna be a long drive.
I thought you were gonna deal with the LJ Burrows situation. Then why is he being released from custody tomorrow?
In and of himself, the kid is useless to us. His only value is in who comes looking for him.
If someone is a liability, they go. Enquiry was becoming a liability.
It's saying you don't become one.
So was his daughter.
Oh, no way. He's gonna go for Sarah.
Sarah. Goodbye, Paul.
Hey, he's going for the family. Taking them all out. Mum's dead. Sarah might die. Her dad's dead. She won't die, though. Maybe she's thinking that... Oh, she knows that somebody's setting her up.
Those guys right now, and it's only a matter of time before you get caught. You realize that, don't you? You have a baby on the way. Do you want to be around for its second birthday or its 22nd?
Shut
If
up.
you didn't want to hear what I had to say, if you didn't want to hear what a big mistake you were making, you would have put that gag back on me.
Pocket change, in case you want to tip the valet when you're at the Ritz.
What are you doing? Drop the bag. No one's going anywhere.
Just so you know, man, I'm not gonna roll on those guys. It ain't gonna happen, so if that's what this is about.
I think I owe you an apology. Because I lied to you about Oscar Shells. Smart Edge just kept pushing it right there. That's where I put the bullet in him.
I think we should go back to
See, that's what's good about confession, you know, because you say something, you get it off your chest, and it just goes out there into the whole world, and I'm so sorry about this, kid, because I really hope you understand.
Oh, he better not die. Set him up, aren't they? I can't believe TWEENER's died, actually. I feel sorry for him. You know what, right? I'm actually upset that he's died. I'm not even kidding. Like, I can't actually believe that he's dead. Like, I understand the Brutzer and the way he was going down and it fit his storyline, and obviously he was he's a killer, you know what I mean? Like, he's somebody that would inflict pain, and Teabag would be somebody as well. And I'm not saying that, you know, Tweener's the best character in the world, but like, I just feel like the way that he's been killed here in this episode is just unfair on him. You know what I mean? I actually do feel like it's unfair. This Mahomes, you know, interestingly, I kind of liked his character in terms of what he's bringing. Like, he was smart at first, tracking down Michael. You know, he seemed to be the kind of one step ahead of him, analysing his tattoos, knowing the next step. And then, obviously, the more his character's progressing, a bit of an asshole. You know what I mean? And, like, killing him, first of all, I've got to say that it's suspicious. It just is. So, for example, he's been taken to that house with loads of officers as well, because they would have been there waiting to get all of the criminals. You know what I mean? So there would have been a mass amount of people there ready to swoop in once he took them to the correct location, but he didn't. He took them to the wrong location. And obviously, all them people know that Tweener was there unarmed, while obviously he was speaking to that woman. Then he got arrested, put back in the vehicle. Now, why is it that he's in a vehicle on his own? Not being, you know, guarded by anybody. There's nobody else in the car with him. Nobody else knows what's actually happening. I would expect as well, the SUV or whatever you want to call it, the vehicle that Mahomes is driving, to be tracked as well. Because I expect all you know what I mean, police patrol vehicles to be. Like, I would be asking, why is it pulled over in this location? Do you know what I mean? Why was you driving at a steady pace? It's not as if, like, it was erratic and you were skidding all over the place, you know. It's not as if the tire marks in that location was, like, hasty as well. It was a nice, clean, controlled stop. How's he got that weapon? Where's he got it from? Who's he pulled it from? Do you know what I'm saying? All of this stuff, like, I just feel like the way it's happened, like, I get it. And I understand it. And again, he's trying to be framed just the way that Killian was trying to frame LJ. Put fingerprints on a weapon. And he's obviously going to try and say it's potentially self-defense. But then, again, I'll just fall back to my questions there. Like, how's he managed to go from one location being fully heavily armed with loads of officers around to be transported on his own with just them two? And then he's just managed to get killed, just like Abruzzi did as well. You know what I mean? Is it not going to raise eyebrows and suspicion? I actually feel sorry for him. I actually really do. You know, he's gone out there. He's been stuck in a sticky situation. The guy loft-holded something on his chest. He tried to get him, manipulate him, saying that obviously if these people die in the house, it's going to be on him and his conscience. He gave him a deal and he chose to reject it, which is his own choice. But then obviously he's like, look, mate, just send me back inside, and boom, he's been killed. So it's interesting that Mahomes has obviously confessed as well that he killed Oscar Shields. Is that what he's called? Because that's another character that I thought could potentially meet up with Michael down the line and make it more interesting that two people are working together. But no, he's actually not going to be in the show. And then another one. Tancredi, dead. Going after Sarah again, potentially. Someone definitely in an apartment. So we're trying to rock up the desk. And they're possibly going to try and go after LJ when they think that Lincoln's going to go get to him. So, mate, pretty crazy episode, to be honest. Quite a lot went on. That's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So we have a death on our hands. Yes, it's not the two people that could have potentially died at the start of the episode. It's not the officer and it's not the homeowner. It is, in fact, Tweener, who was killed by local authority, you know, the FBI, whatever you want to call them, law enforcement, people that's supposed to be protecting everybody that's on the streets. Yes, okay, he's protected them by taking another criminal away, but he's not took one that is badly, you know, a threat to Joe Public. You know, the fact is he's in prison because he stole a baseball card. We've got to take that for his face value in the story, that obviously that's the reason why he was there. I believe him. He seemed to be an innocent guy. He's only really young as well. He's 18. He had a decent offer on the table today, but obviously he's own regrets of letting everybody down in the past, wasn't it? Where he obviously ratted out Michael and Cole to Bellick, you know, was playing on his mind when he got put in this situation today. And he didn't want to be that same guy twice. And I didn't want him to be the same guy twice, if I'm being totally honest. I even said I didn't want that to be his kind of profile moving forward. Now, he's obviously gone out the show, and you know, RIP to him. You know, I've just said my little bit on him there, so we don't really want to move into the outro continually talking about Tweener, but he's been a good character, and you know, I am sad to see him go. Now, interestingly, I still can't believe like Haywire is free, like just the way he is and his character, and you wouldn't think that he would be able to survive for so long without anybody actually noticing him and him being so strategic, but like he's just doing whatever he wants. You know what I mean? The guy's trying to build his own raft on the beach. He wants to sail to the Netherlands, which is interesting. And do you know what? He just wants a simple life. You know what I mean? Away, living in a windmill. Now, what actual reason was he in Psych Ward for? I can't remember being told. I can't remember, but I actually like him. And, you know, he interests me, makes me laugh, and I actually do think he's a good character. And like I said, the show needs people that are different to everybody else. So I'm not saying that Sucre and Sino and Teabag are all the same and Lincoln, but like, they kind of are. So people like Tweener and LJ and Haywire and Michael, because he's clever, their profiles are different, and I wish like we had newer influx of people as well. That's why I'm actually surprised that we haven't actually been integrated with any new cast members, you know, considering we was in the prison last season and we had a lot. We had Pope in there, we had Bellic in there a lot, we had Gira and other guards kind of making an appearances, we had other kind of cellmates and stuff like that. You know, the guy that was obviously beating on Tweener, we had other people just knocking around and taking part, and we had Charles as well. And now we kind of lowered the cast involvement, if that makes sense, and I would have thought we would have an influx of new people, but then it kind of makes sense because we are actually on the run and they're getting chased. So I mean, we still got loads to go with the season, so it's not really a complaint. You know, a complaint that I would have is Lincoln going to get LJ. It's not needed this time. He's free, he's going to be walking the streets, and how can you not see that it's an obvious plan? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, his dad, which was in last season, and we've not seen any of this season, so what's happened to him? The last time we seen their dad, he turned up at, obviously, Lincoln's potential death, and then he turned up to save him after the crash, and they seen him in the junkyard, and then obviously he's ran away. He have to give us loads of information saying he leaked it out into the Joe public. What's actually going on with Terrence Steadman? Because Veronica's died, I'm going off on a tangent now. Veronica's died, you know what I mean? Like, he's still got his story to play, he's still a prisoner in his own home. Going back to the dad situation, though. When Lincoln was being transferred, you know, that was the time that he was there to intercept him. It was obvious, you know what I mean? His dad said that was the only chance I had to come in, and that was my window of opportunity, and it's the same as Lincoln. Do you know what I mean? Like, they know that once LJ's getting outside, that he's going to arrive. That's his opportunity. That's where he can pick him up. All eyes are going to be on him. I don't understand how he can't see that, how he doesn't know that. You know, the first time when him and Michael was trying to get him out of the elevator, I understand it. He was being transported. Like I said, he was potentially going to be sentenced to murdering people. He could have got the death penalty. Then it would have been so much harder to do the escape. It would have been Prison Break 2.0, technically, to get LJ out of there. But this time, he's free. He's going to be walking on the streets. Nobody's going to be there arresting him. No, he's not going to have to look over his shoulder. He's not going to run away anywhere. You could wait. You could lay low. You could contact him. You could get a friend of a friend or an associate. You could hopefully have LJ look out into you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, right now, it's not needed, and you're potentially putting yourself in danger. So I'm interested to see what happens with them. I wanted LJ to be more involved in the show, so, you know, we are 7 episodes in. There's still a long way to go, and I'm hoping that his character does get more airtime. And I would just finish off, obviously, with the situation where they found the money. Charles was actually telling the truth. They've all got it. They're packing it up, and then Sucre's come in with the weapon that he took off the cop, and he said nobody's going anywhere. Drop the bags. And I don't know if he wants to take it for himself, but, well, to be honest, the only thing that would make sense would be that he takes it for himself, you know, and that is pretty selfish. But he's thinking about him, he's thinking about his kid after having a conversation with a woman, obviously the officer that was on the inside. He's thinking that maybe he can start a better life for them. Now, obviously, he's going to have a big cut, but he's got the weapon. Nobody can kind of challenge him. But it's kind of ruthless for him at the same time. So I don't think that he's obviously going to say, put the bag down, we're going to turn each other's in, because he's come too far now. Do you know what I mean? They've gone all this way, they've done it all, and they've got it. I just feel like he's in the moment, he's overwhelmed, he's panicking, he's thinking about his kids, he's got in his head, he's seen the money, he's like, I'm having it, I'm bouncing, you can't do anything, I've got the weapon, I've got the advantage, I'm out of here. So God knows, mate, but I'm excited to see what happens. Thanks for checking out today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.